Good day, everyone. Today, our group will be presenting on the topic of cyberbullying. As we all know, the internet has become an important part of our daily lives. But along with the benefit, it also brings challenges. One of the most serious issues that we face online is cyberbullying. Through this presentation, we aim to create awareness about cyberbullying, its effect, causes, and the ways to build a safer online community for everyone.
Hi, I am Divya. Today I am going to introduce about what is cyberbullying. What is cyberbullying? Where the cyberbullying is happens. Cyberbullying happens beside the social media site. Cyberbullying take place on different online networking. This include texting, messaging apps, online forums, chat rooms, and message boards, and also by online gaming apps. The significance of it. The persons who in getting involved in cyberbullying can impact by emotional and mental health. The begins result in depression, anxiety, or even plan to suicide. And also the young flocks make up the majority of victims. What are our opinions can reduce the cyberbullying? My opinion is increase awareness to students or victims to about for cyberbullying, promote digital responsibility and empathy, report and stop negativity conduct, encourage secure online forums for the students and also for people who are never know about cyberbullying. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tahasef Ras. I will be covering two parts of the report, that is objective of the report and definition of terms. Starting with the objective of the report, there are three objectives that will give an overall view of the report. Objective number one is to discuss the types of cyberbullying. Objective number two is to analyze the consequences of cyberbullying on individuals. And objective number three is to discuss cyberbullying from different philosophical school of thoughts. It is important to discuss some key terms related to cyberbullying, starting with number one, harassment, repeatedly sending someone messages that are offensive to intimidate others. Then, secondly, there is doxing, sharing someone's private information without their consent. Thirdly, there is flapping, taking over someone's social media account and sharing inappropriate stuff. On number four, there is cyberstalking, continuously monitoring someone over different social media platforms. Then there is trolling, sending some offensive, harmful memes to offend someone and cause upset. Then there is catfishing, creating fake ID to scam others. And then there is masquerading, pretending to be someone in order to damage their reputation. And there is swatting, making fake calls to cause upset and fear among people. There are different terms used from psychological and social point of view, such as PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, and there is depression, anxiety, and trust issues. And the victims of cyberbullying, such as young adults, kids, sensitive and introverted individuals, and the perpetrators are narcissists.
My name is Tanusha. Now, let's move to the next part, which is about causes of cyberbullying in Malaysia. Although there are many factors, I will highlight five main causes based on recent cases and studies. First, social media platforms contribute a lot of problem. Apps like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter are widely used by young people. but often lack proper monitoring. Hurtful comments, body shaming, and public shaming spread very quickly. For example, the case of Rajeshwari Appahu in 2024 showed how continuous online harassment can seriously affect mental health and even lead to suicide. This shows how dangerous unmonitored social media can be. Second, the lack of digital education is another cause. Many schools focus only on ICT basis, but not on responsible online behavior. Because of this, student doesn't understand the impact of their actions. Sharing embarrassing photos or videos may seem like a joke, but it can be deeply hurt the victim. For an example, in Penang, a student was cyberbullied after her video was uploaded to TikTok with cruel captions. This reflects poor awareness of online ethics. Third, peer pressure also drives cyberbullying. Some students join in bullying just to fit it or avoid being targeted themselves. For example, in a Kuala Lumpur school, a girl was mocked in a group chat for her English mistakes, and more classmates joined to gain approval from others. This shows how group behavior normalizing cyberbullying. Fourth, weak enforcement of laws makes the issue worse. Malaysia does have the Communication and Multimedia Act, but many cases are not taken seriously. In 2023, MCMC received thousands of online harassment complaints, yet only a small number were investigated. Because of this, bullies believe they can continue without facing consequences. Lastly, emotional distress is another important cause. Some bullies themselves face personal struggles such as neglect, family pressure, or low self esteem. Instead of seeking help, they release their anger on other online. For an example, a 15 years old boy in Selangor admitted to bullying because he felt ignored at home. In conclusion, the main causes of cyberbullying in Malaysia are misuse of social media, lack of digital education, peer pressure, weak legal enforcement, and emotional distress. To address this, society must work together through stronger laws, better awareness, and more support for mental health.
Hi, my name is Revati. So now I will be presenting about the impacts and effects of cyberbullying on society in Malaysia. So first, the impact and effects in cyberbullying is a mental health problem. Cyberbullying can cause serious mental emotional damages to victims. Constant online harassment, insults, or even threats can lead to depression, anxiety, stress, and in severe cases, it can be a suicidal thoughts. Victims may feel worthless, ashamed, and afraid to seek help. In Malaysia, there have been cases where students and youth suffered long term mental health issues because of online abuses. For example, in 2019, a 16 years old girl from Sarawak tragically took her own life after posting a poll on Instagram asking the followers if she should live or die. The emotional toll of online pressure bullying became too much for her to handle. This shows how cyberbullying directly affects a person's mental state, especially when they don't receive the support they need. Secondly, is disruption in education. Cyberbullying affects a student's ability to focus in class or participate in activities or even feel safe in the school environment. Many victims avoid school, stops participating in discussions or even drop out due to humiliate or fear. Example, a secondary school student in Kuala Lumpur was repeatedly mocked in a group of chat for which affect his future education plans. The kind of this disruption impacts not just the victim but also school's overall atmosphere and students' morale. Thirdly, we will move to damage to relationships. Online bullying damages relationships by spreading false information, creating misunderstanding, or even publicly shaming someone. Victim may lose trust in friends or even family, feeling isolated and unsupported. Example, a Form 4 student in Penang discovered that a classmate had created a fake Instagram account to post edited photos of her. Although the issue has been eventually resolved, it permanently damaged their friendship and create a tension within the classroom. Cyberbullying can turn classmates into enemies and destroy the trust needed for healthy social development. The fourth one will be increase in online hate culture. Cyberbullying fuels a negative online environment where insults, body shaming, and toxic comments become normal. When bullies face no consequences, others may feel encouraged to join the or intimate them in such behavior. Example, in Malaysian celebrities and influencers like singer Siti Nordiana have faced online hate campaigns and harassment, often over minor issues. These incidents shows how fast mob mentality can grow online, making people unsafe and expressing themselves. This kind of toxic culture discourage positive dialogues and harm mental well-being. And lastly, threats to social harmony. Cyberbullying involves racial, religious, or cultural insults can create serious tension and conflict in a multiracial society like Malaysia. It damages unity and mutual respect, which are key pillars of national harmony. During COVID-19 pandemic, several racist comments were posted online blaming certain ethnic groups of virus spreads. These type of marks went viral, triggered public outrage, weakening the community trust. Such behaviors breaks the value of Rukun Nagara, especially courtesy and morality and belief in God.
My name is Kashmita Lechmane. Today I will presenting on the issue of cyberbullying in Malaysia from 2020 to 2024. This is one of the most pressing social challenge, especially for children, teenagers and young adults. In 2020, cases was to 3,100. The COVID-19 lockdown forced most students online for schools and socializing, which led to more opportunities for cyberbullies. Victims experienced verbal abuse, impersonation, and group cyberbully on social media and apps. By 2022, cases dropped to just 326. But this does not mean cyberbully disappeared. Instead, it shows underreporting and inconsistent categories. Many young people did not know how or where to report, and some even expected bullying as a normal online behavior. In 2020, reports jumped to 4,128. This risk was actually linked to process. People become more aware of what cyberbullying is and how to report it. Campaigns like Klik Dengan Bijak by MCMC and NGOs played a big role, and online reporting tools become easiest to use. In 2023, cases dropped slightly to 3,700, while still high. This suggests that awareness effects were making some differences. School monitored online behavior more actively, and social media platforms enforce stricter rules. Still, teenagers remains higher vulnerable. 2024, Malaysia saw its highest number of reports cases, which is 3,300. This risk was rife by increasing use of platforms and hidden apps, but also because victims feel safer reporting due to stronger awareness campaigns. Unfortunately, this shows awareness alone is not enough. Stronger digital laws, stricter platform monitoring, and school programs are needed. Conclusion. From 2020 to 2024, cyberbullying case in Malaysia showed an overall rise. Awareness and reporting have improved, but online abuse continues to spread throughout social media and apps. A stronger coordination response involving schools, parents, and tech companies is urgently needed. Without serious activities, this issue will only continue to grow.
Cyberbullying in Malaysia has been on the rise, mainly due to the rapid advancement of technology and the easy access to the internet, even among very young children nowadays. Cyberbullying is basically a form of bullying that happens online through digital devices like phones, tablets, or computers. There are several types, such as flaming, trolling, cyberstalking, denigrations, masquerade, and harassment. The impact on victims can be very serious. Many suffer from mental health problems such as anxiety, depression, low self esteem, and in even severe cases, even suicidal thoughts. For students, it can also affect their academic performance. Some contributing factors include spending too much time online, which increases exposure to bullying, as well as poor online ethics. Research also shown that bullies can come from two groups, either popular individual or social outcast who speak power over others. In short, cyberbullying is a growing issue that affects both mental health and academic life, and it needs a serious attention.
Chung, what is Sejahtera philosophy? Sejahtera teach balance between the body, mind, spirit, and community. But in cyberbullying, this balancing is broken. Online anonymity makes people say the things would never say face to face in the real life. And when bystanders stay silent, it creates imbalance and emotional harm. For example, in a school, when a student make a mistake during an online presentation, which is shared with a harsh comment. Although many did not agree, few spoke up. The student later withdrew the participation. This shows how silence can damage emotional well-being. Confucianism. Basically, Confucianism have three key values, which is the Ren, kindness, Li, the proper behavior, and Yi, the rightness. Confucius taught that the foundation of good society is Ren, which means kindness, compassion, and humanity. In the digital space, Ren means remember that there is always a human being behind the screen. When we see hurtful comments spreading online, it shows how Ren often forgotten. Li refers to the rules of proper behavior that maintain respect and social harmony. In real life, Li prevents gossip, insults, or public humiliations. But online, people often abandon Li because the environment feels less formal and peer pressure is strong. E is about doing the right things even when it is difficult or uncomfortable. This value is most tested in cyberbullying cases. Often, bystanders see something wrong but remain silent because they fear standing out or being targeted themselves. Confucianism reminds us that true rightness is not silent, but having the moral courage to act, to speak out, to report, or to support the victims. Without it, silence becomes the norm and harmful behavior continues unchallenged. When Ren, Li, and Yi are ignored online, social trust and harmony break down. In schools, this makes students afraid to share ideas. In workspaces, it damages teamwork and collaborations. But when these values are practiced consistently, both online and offline, they create a culture of empathy, respect, and courage that strengthens social bonds. Both Sujetra philosophy and Confucianism remind us that online actions affect real lives. Harmony is fragile and it depends on whether we practice value consistently. The true lesson is this: cyberbullying is not only about digital safety, it is also about moral responsibility to care, to respect, and to have the courage to act.
Good day to our beloved lecturers and friends. I am Sasan. I would like to continue to present our slide, Cyberbullying with Rukun Negara. Cyberbullying is a serious and urgent social problem that threatens to undermine national unity, personal dignity, and mental health. The first principle is mutual respect and constructive social behaviors. The notion of being kind to people, developing harmonious connections, and engaging in ethical behavior, particularly online, is underpinned. A society that upholds good social behavior should discourage online abuse and promote positive digital communication. For instance, social media platforms should encourage positive engagement and discourage toxic behaviors. Another principle is the rule of law. This is not just a moral issue, but it is also a legal one. The relevance may violate laws which penalize offensive online content. Some solutions are stronger enforcement by authorities like MCMC and the police to investigate and prosecute cyberbullies. Public awareness about legal consequences to detect potential offenders and encouraging victims to report cyberbullying of suffering in silence.
Hi everyone, I'm Yoga. Today I'm going to talk about the group reflection on the issue. In our group reflection, we identify several core issues related to cyberbullying. One major challenge is that perpetrators often act anonymously, which make it difficult for authorities to trace and prosecute them. Additionally, victims are often unaware of their rights or don't know how to report the incidents properly, which further limit actions. Our research shows that most vulnerable group includes youth between the ages of 13 to 24, especially frequent users of the platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, but the risk extends beyond the age like sensitive individuals, ethnic minorities, and people with disabilities also face higher threats of cyberbullying. This leads to serious psychological effects such as depression, anxiety, and loss of self confidence. Over time, victims may isolate themselves to perform poorly in school, lost trust in others, and in the worst cases have suicidal thoughts. Now we're coming to the second slide, which is about the root cause of this issue. We also explore the root causes behind the issue. A major factor is the high usage of social media among Malaysia youth without proper digital education or understanding of responsible online behavior. Peer pressure is another driver where students bully others just to avoid being targeted themselves. Weak law enforcement and slow legal system make the situation worse, often letting bullies get away with it. Some perpetrators also deal with unresolved emotional issues and use bullying as a form of release. In response, the government has taken some action such as an awareness campaign by the Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission and the Cyber 999 helpline, which offers 24/7 support. But more needs to be done at school level. We recommend comprehensive education on online ethics, mental health, support services, and simple, clear way to report bullying. By encouraging empathy and responsible online behavior, school can become powerful allies in the fight against cyberbullying. In conclusion, this issue needs joint action from government, school, families, and society as a whole.
Hi everyone. So my part was to write about the group reflection, and here are the experience I have gained from this assignment. It was challenging to balance work between work, family, and study, but teamwork made it easier. And our leader divided the task, and we discussed everything on WhatsApp since live meetings were hard to arrange. And doing my own research also helped me to understand the topic better. The most important lesson I learned is about cyberbullying and the need to teach our children to stay safe online.
First, when someone faces cyberbullying, the immediate action is to block the perpetrator and avoid engaging with them. Reading negative comments only worsen the victim's mental health, so it's important to cut off the interaction as soon as possible. Second, education awareness play a very big role. As suggested by Rusli R and his colleagues, schools should implement programs that teach students about the prevention of cyberbullying and the consequences of such actions. Workshop and awareness campaign can also help victims understand how to deal with these situations and at the same time make perpetrators realize that harm they are causing. Third, in more serious cases, victims should report the situation to the authorities. This is especially important when the bullying involves personal matters like sharing home address, private images, or even making threats and blackmails. For example, perpetrators may impersonate someone to gain trust, then use personal information. These cases can go beyond harassment and must be handled legally. Lastly, mental health support is crucial. Cyberbullying can be traumatic experience and victims should not keep their feelings bottled up. Reaching out to loved ones, friends, or even professionals is very important for emotional recovery. Having a support system makes it easier to cope and move forward. So, overall, these solutions, which is blocking perpetrators, increasing awareness through education, reporting severe cases, and seeking mental health support, can help address the rising issue of cyberbullying.
So, in conclusion, cyberbullying has emerged a serious and growing issue in Malaysia, especially among the younger generation. It negatively impacts individuals and society in harming mental health, disrupting education, damaging relationship, encouraging a culture hate, and also threatening national unity. The issue is not only a problem, but also a moral and ethical concern that goes against the core value of national education philosophy and the Rukun Negara. Through philosophical analysis, we can see that various belief systems, including Islam, Buddhism, and Sajatra philosophy, all emphasizes compassion, respect, and responsible behavior, which clearly oppose the harmful nature of cyberbullying. Additionally, principles such as courtesy or morality and rule of law from Rukun Negara highlight the need of legal accountability and ethical conduct. As a society, we must address this issue through awareness, education, and proper enforcement of laws to ensure a safer and digital environment. This report has helped us understand the issue from multiple perspectives and to encourage us to be more responsible citizens both online and offline. By becoming together and educating ourselves and our communities and taking proactive steps, we can combat bullying and create a safer environment for everyone. Let's be the change we want to see in the world.